We're here at Business Sweden in Dubai. I'm here with Cherif Sayed. He's the area manager for Middle East and North Africa. So, Cherif, tell us about Business Sweden's operations here in Dubai.
Well, Business Sweden, as you know, is 50% owned by the government and 50% by the private business community. And in Dubai, where we have our hub office, controls 7 offices in the region. And we work with projects that cover everything from Iran and Pakistan to the whole of North Africa and the French-speaking North Africa. And what we do is mainly we support Swedish companies in their internationalization process. And we also support local companies that would like to look at investments in Sweden. Most of the sectors that we work with are more or less the 4 big sectors traditional sectors in Sweden. And that is the ICT sector, the CleanTech. We also work with healthcare and industrial equipment. And within industrial equipment, of course, we work with the oil and gas sector, which is more or less the old shipping industry in Sweden, which has the same standard as the offshore industry here in the UAE.
That's great. So, what's the secret sauce to entering the Middle East and North African markets and Dubai specific?
I think the secret sauce is to realize that the Middle East and Africa is not a homogeneous market. I mean, you can't really broad brush the Middle East. You have to look at upcoming hubs, Dubai being one of them, and of course in the western parts of Africa, Morocco, being one of them. Egypt, of course, have been going through hard times, but of course Egypt has always been one of the big logistics hubs in the region. So I think, looking at number one, the logistics hubs, and of course the financial hubs, and number 2, I think establishing yourselves locally, creating relationships, building long-term relationships, and it's not a pump and dump market. It's not a short-term market. And I think 3 is understanding the local culture and the local religion and the local practices of doing business. And that, I think, these combined with having an arm out in the market, and we can represent a lot of Swedish companies and support when establishing and support when looking at different analysis, that is I think, the secret sauce.
Dubai is like a melting pot. It's very diverse. What does that mean for companies coming out here from Sweden, for example?
I think the main, of course, there's obstacles and opportunities with everything. The opportunities that you see is that you have a lot of skilled labor, of course, diverse from all different backgrounds and all different industries. You also have an access to the whole Middle East and North Africa from here. You don't have a lot of political rivalries or problems while dealing from Dubai. We also have to acknowledge the fact that Dubai has become a place where the biggest portion of the percentages of business that is done doesn't even stay in Dubai. So a lot of business is done in Dubai as a platform, and of course is shipped to the rest of the Middle East. The downside of all of this, of course, is that you build up a hub that becomes extremely expensive, and you have a lot of overheads. So it's very important to streamline your business, to slim it down, and to focus on different regions, not only Dubai. You can also reach not only the Middle East, you can also reach Southeast Asia from here, and of course some of the central parts of Africa.
So, what kind of activities will you be focusing on? We're in May now here, 2014. What activities is going to happen from now and over to 2015?
I think mainly what we're looking at now is that in parallel to the projects that we have with Swedish companies that are directly interested in investing or creating hubs in the Middle East, we're looking at also connecting Swedish industry with the national visions that the countries have. And UAE has a 2022 vision. The Qatar has a 2022 vision with the World Cup. And here, of course, with the Dubai Expo 2020. Egypt has a long-term vision after what they have gone through, reviving the whole tourism sector, coming back to middle-income housing, etc., etc. And then you have, of course, the North African markets that are trying to become a hub to the Western African markets from a financial perspective and, of course, from a logistics perspective. So we're trying to map out which countries are expanding, to what way, and where Sweden can fit in as a big competitor to the, of course, different stakeholders that are competing against us, and that is our fellow European markets, of course.
I think so. 3 recommendations to send from here to Swedish companies who wants to enter. What would that be?
It would be, I think, 3 recommendations would be: learn a lot about the markets before going into them. See what the competition is, and understanding, what the volumes that are sent to the markets and where they end. Like I said before, I mean, they're sent to Dubai, but they end in maybe Saudi. And I think use and utilize the foreign labor that has immigrated to Sweden the past 10 years, because I think we have a lot of resources back home in Sweden that we can use in order to make the relationship closer and the trip easier for Swedish companies. And then I think one more is to use the different organizations out in the world that are Swedish, that are financed by the Swedish government, and that, of course, help Swedish companies grow in the markets.
Dubai just launched smart cities. Tell us about that.
Well, again, you just mentioned it rightfully. I mean, they just launched the project. The project is more looking at Dubai as a whole, Dubai as a city, making it a very smart and sustainable city in the future, and the different parameters that entered into that. And it's everything from having a smart and sustainable life to smart economy to smart government. Making it easier for the citizens of Dubai and the tourists of Dubai to navigate the country and, of course, get in contact with governmental organizations easier and shorter time, and getting a better response time, of course. But I think it's also part of the bigger picture of the whole UAE, the federation, starting off with Dubai and, of course, delivering a 2020 platform that the world can be very happy to come to, and also to showcase what the world has to offer in order for us to reach a sustainable future.
To summarize, Swedish companies should come to Dubai. Thank you, Cherif Sayed, Area Manager for Middle East and North Africa. Thank you very much.